Hi, welcome back. I'm Camille.
And I'm Gretchen, and we are starting over with another episode. So happy that y'all are here. Right off the bat, if you want to like, share, subscribe, all of that thing that people want you to do,
yeah, that's right.
Go ahead and do it.
Like, subscribe, yeah.
I always love to bring Camille topics that I'm really curious on in the name of our podcast. Here's something that happened. So Bailey, my oldest daughter, sends me an Instagram message, and it was this guy giving a talk, and it was so good. She and I both love to talk about manifesting and stuff like that. So this guy is some manifesting coach like in Europe, and he was talking about blocks that we have.
Yeah.
His reference was for money.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, I would like to know what this is. I've been a single mom for a long time.
Yeah.
So money's always been in my head, right?
Yes.
So he said, whatever your block is, money, okay, think of it as a friend and you're going to go have dinner. So if you guys are sitting across each other at the table and say it's me, and I start saying, you're never there for me, I can't count on you, you give to everybody else, you've disappointed me over the years, there's never enough, you do everybody else but not me, you know what I'm saying?
Totally.
I started talking to money the way I would a human. Pretty soon that human would be like,
And getting up and leaving.
I'm good, I'm done, I'm out.
Yeah. It's true.
But I thought to myself, you know what? If everything is an energy, that means it has a relationship to us.
Yes, that's right.
So you really do have to watch how you think and talk and feel about whatever that is, whether it's your body image or a relationship or where you live or whatever.
Your future, your past. Well, and so I think, as we talk about this, what is the mood? Like, what's the mood that you kind of take on in the realm of that relationship to money, right?
Right.
So, and if you look at what's the mood, does it bring you down? Oh, it's scarcity.
Makes you scared.
Dread. It's like this, there's just never enough. It kind of lowers your vibe. So you're going to attract your vibe, that we kind of bring in our vibration, right? So we get what we are, not what we want. So if you have a low vibration around money, then I think that you're creating that low vibration. If you're saying there's scarcity or I want, then you're wanting still, right? So what I think, if I look at my story, my narrative with money, I was a farm girl. And my first job was working on the orchard, trying to keep up with my dad and driving the tractor. And, I didn't know what I was doing, but I was so worried about his money, right? And I never really worry about my money. It's interesting. Like my narrative, I don't worry about it. I'll just figure it out. But like with my dad, guess what I do? I pay men's bills. Okay? I help my dad. I help my son. It's something you have to look at what your pattern is with money. And some people are the responsible ones, they're the providers, and some people are the consumers because they don't know how to make money. But I think it's a matter of being willing to start over in the realm of any area. And that's what we're trying to figure out with people is how to get them to shift their mood, shift their ideas, and shift their narrative about whatever they want to change.
Absolutely, because what we've been talking about with every episode that we do with starting over is really it's your mood, it's your mind, it's what you think, it's what you say. And so even relationships where what we feel could be like, well, it's just out there. It's just money, or it's just, my lack of 20 pounds that I want to lose, whatever it is. Not putting an identity to it makes it not feel like you need to nurture that relationship. But now that we are kind of understanding, wait a second, everything does have an energy. Everything does have a beat to it.
Yep.
So you do have to pay attention to how you think about it and what you talk about.
Well, and you look at your results, and the results in your life that's a direct correlation with what you're observing, what you're deciding, and then how you're acting. So you got to look at what are your beliefs, what's your precepts about money, what do you believe about you and money? Are you worth more? I've raised my rates recently. Okay,
right.
So and I've had some people. I was waiting for you to do this. You're so good. I don't know why it took you so long, or I don't know if I can afford you. There's like people have their own conversation going on with money, and any change in money kind of flips them out.
Right.
So I'm noticing that myself actually. So this is a good thing for me to look at myself as what's my narrative with money.
How do you put your price tag on your worth when it comes to business?
So in the realm of business, truly, there's got to be it used to be the model of consumer was always right. The customer is always right. You heard that, right?
Yeah.
And so they dictate and, I'm paying you, so you owe me and you got to do it this way. Look, I don't work like that, y'all. I can't have someone come in and do it to me, do it for me, because that's not how it works.
How could that even work in your business, though?
It doesn't. But some people do that.
They do that.
They do that, yeah. And they expect something They expect me to generate all of it. So generating is like I'm in the conversation, I'm asking the questions. And look, some teenagers that I work with in families, yes, they're going to sit there and look down, and they're not going to talk. And so I can kind of read them, and I kind of confront them. I want to get under their skin a little bit, whether piss them off or make them laugh. And then they're engaging, and that kind of does help. So, all right, fine with that. But it's really a matter of putting yourself out there. And I will put my heart and soul into something, but I require people to put their heart and soul back in. So it's a value to value. Mm-hmm. And I can make a promise. I can make a soft promise to you. You're going to have great results. You're going to break through like you've never broke through before, but I need you to commit to that. Yeah. So, it's a matter of, I have an ask too. So when people come to me for services, I'm asking you to show up on time, be ready to process and be ready for a breakthrough. If you're going to come in and like a couple's coming in, they want to sit there and fight and argue and stuff like that. I'm like, time out. You can do this at home without paying me to listen to it. So don't do that. Let's get truly what's going on, and then I can confront them individually. Mm-hmm. But it's a different type of work. I'm rigorous. I want people to bring value too, right? And really try to process. And in that context, what is it worth to have a marriage of your dreams? What is it worth to not get divorced and stay together for your kids and be happy? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you can look at what the value is brought to that. That could be worth $1 million to you. Now, I'm not going to charge $1 million. They probably don't have it, but that's what they pay for, is the results.
Yeah. But I think with with any price tag, and this is what I've been reading about so much, is you have to decide what your value is, and it doesn't necessarily mean a monetary number. You have to stop. When I say you, I'm talking about me too. We have to stop making justifications for not getting exactly what we want, or we have to stop bowing down, even though it doesn't feel right. Okay. No, you know what? Yeah. You are worth a certain amount. Yeah. You are worth certain restrictions. You are worth certain leniences. You are worth certain things. That's right. And you get to decide what it is. It shouldn't be some corporate going, this is what I'm going to give to you because this is all I feel that you're worth. Now, granted, you're going to be like, Gretchen, good luck. I mean, I can't go into my boss and say that. Maybe not, but you know what? I think when we have an attitude of what we're worth, it rubs off. Well, and when you can say no. I had a client earlier today, and it was that very conversation. It's like they want to offer her this. I said, well, just send back the message, no. And then another email to counter. Like, here's my counter. But if you let people just put you together and this is what we're going to decide you're worth, I think people personalize money. We all do. It's like we personalize it. Mm-hmm. And so many divorces I help people go through, they feel like they're minimalized, like you're only worth that. I'm going to keep more and you're going to take less, and you're only deserving. You're only worth that. And you're right, because we do live in a society that everything, and I get why you have to have a basis of something. I get it. But I'm just saying, the way you feel about yourself should not be based on the fact of what somebody else has deemed you to be. That's right. You can have, say, an artist or a musician that is wildly talented, and they haven't been discovered, but they are wildly. Are they less worth than somebody that's on the radio? Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's a matter of timing. That's right. It's not a matter of what you're worth. That's right. Well, that famous musician, I can't remember what he plays, but he's on the street under a viaduct in some homeless clothes playing, I think it was a violin, under the viaduct, and he's getting a few dollars thrown at him and stuff like that in his case. And then, they're testing people to see if they will recognize him. No one recognizes him. He's just got a little bit of money and playing orchestra level stuff. Mm-hmm. Then he goes and plays at the orchestra, and he's making a lot of money for that. But it's like this presentation. So you're right. The whole world has a paradigm around the presentation of it. Right. It's the perception. It's the perception. And really, the best perception needs to happen with you first. From you, because no matter what your job is, even if you're on a salary type situation, you've read and you've heard, and we've heard it, lots of people that things happen because they viewed themselves in a value better than what somebody else did. That's right. And when you take on that role, you become that role, you will get the results. And I think that's a true statement in relationships. So if how you're treated by anybody, but again, if you got a relationship with money, how is money going to treat you? How is that person with money going to treat you, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that's exactly what people need to look at, is what is my opinion, what is my value system. Yeah. But if you get all emotional about it, what happens?
that you turn into
Put
that.
a block there.
You got
Yeah.
a low mood around it. That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
There's something called transactional communication. So you don't go to the bank, you cash this, teller, whatever, get your cash out. But in the realm of business, I've noticed some people, and this is what happens in divorces, people will reduce that person to a transaction. You're only worth this much money. Your worth isn't anything else other than a little bit of money. So if you're dealing in relationships, what I try and help people figure out when they're negotiating a price for something is become a human being to whoever you're negotiating with. Because if you're just a transaction, and if you notice that in your world too, like everything's great, we want you, we love you, be our host, be the hostess, whatever, and then when it comes down to money, here's a transaction. This is what we're going to pay you. You get to negotiate that term and say, no, I think I'm going to have a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, you guys take some time this week to kind of think about
Your worth.
your worth, and even if it's not going to be reflected in your pay right now, just feel it, and see what things happen. You never know. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.